Hey guys, what's up? My name is Anthony, and welcome to another edition of the BNA Sports Talk or Sports Podcast, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to call it a podcast because I think that's kind of corny and whatever. So this is a series where I'll be talking about sports topics that you guys want me to talk about, whether it's because it's talked about a lot, whether it's because you want to know my opinion about it, whether it's popular, whether not enough people are talking about it. All in all, comments, let me know in the comments section down below. But today we're going to talk about who I believe is going to sneak into the wild cards. So with 2 weeks left, let's start off with the NFC. So with 2 weeks left, there are 5 teams fighting for 2 spots because technically the Seahawks have not clinched yet. I believe the Seahawks will clinch, not this weekend because I don't think they could beat Kansas City, but they'll clinch next weekend because they have an easy game in the Cardinals. So really that leaves 4 teams fighting for 1 spot. In reality, Carolina Panthers and the Redskins won't make it. We all know that. The Carolina Panthers play the Falcons and the Saints. They'll lose one of those games, especially without Cam Newton. They'll lose. The Redskins, they play the Titans this weekend. The Titans are trying to fight for a playoff spot, so no way in hell they're losing that game against Josh Johnson. I just don't see a way. Redskins, good season. They would have been on my surprise team list yesterday if they didn't lose Alex Smith and Colt McCoy and Mark Nishking. They if they kept Mark Sanchez, oh god, that would have been. Did they just bench him? It's funny. The 3rd string quarterback gets benched because he's playing bad for the 4th string. Like how bad? Whatever. Anyway, with the Vikings and the Eagles are really realistically fighting for that 1 playoff spot, and I think Nick Foles has some magic in him this year. I don't want to be too much on the hype train, but you look at Minnesota, they play the Lions and the Bears. They'll lose one of those games. And the Eagles have the Texans and the Redskins. Redskins aren't doing anything. And if it comes down to it, the Eagles are winning that game. So I think the Eagles sneak into a wild card. My preseason prediction had the Vikings out and the Eagles in, but they had the Eagles winning the division. But I don't think this is any bias. I really do think the Bears will be fighting for that. Will be fighting for the number 2 seed, so they'll be less apt to bench all their starters. The Rams have the potential to lose that weekend, especially if the Bears win their game this weekend, which I think is against not the Buccaneers, but it's an pretty easy game. If they're fighting for that number 2 seed, I don't see why they'd bench their starters, and I don't see Matt Nagy benching their starters. I don't think he's that type of coach. Anyway. So I think the Eagles are going to sneak in. Don't see them doing much in the playoffs because they'd face either the Bears or the Rams, and I think that'd be too much. Actually, no, I could see them being the Rams again. That'd be funny. The Rams are trash. Sorry. I had them going 11-5 in my preseason predictions, and I was actually kind of quite shocked how well they did up until this point. And I knew it was just too many stars. They all play 2 individually and 2 for their own money. Whatever. Anyway, so let's move on to the AFC. The AFC I feel like is way more interesting because you have 5 teams fighting for 1 spot. You have the Ravens, Colts, Titans, Browns. I think it's only 4. If I'm missing any, I don't think I'm missing anyone. But realistically, come on, the Browns. Come on, they have to win. They have so many things that have to happen for them to win, for them to get in. So the Colts have to lose to the Giants this weekend, and I don't think that's happening. I think the Colts win out and secure the 2nd wild card. The thing about it, the Pro Bowler pretty much carries his team to the playoffs, and he doesn't make the Pro Bowl. Like the comeback player of the year, I had somebody say J.J. Watt was the player of the year. I think he's a little overrated. I think everyone's overrated, honestly, but so yeah, there's that. I think the Ravens are going to lose this weekend against the Chargers. Lamar Jackson, it was a great run. There's Tebow. I mean, the magic might last a little longer. I don't think it will. Lamar Jackson, his comparisons to Tebow are uncanny. If you look at the pass yards, if you look at the rushing touchdowns, you look at everything, and plus Lamar Jackson, they have the number 1 rush offense in the league in the past couple weeks, but they've also played shitty defenses, shitty run defenses. If you look at it, the bottom 5 in the league they played. So I think he gets humbled this week. I don't think it's sustainable. I think the Chargers force him to pass, and So yeah, the Colts went out. They beat the Titans last week. I think they beat the Titans. Whoever wins that game is going to make the playoffs, and I think the Colts will win that game. They'll find a way. The Titans are really strong in the trenches, but I think Quentin Nelson and that offensive line will hold their defensive front, and I think the Colts will just win keep it the battle in the trenches, an even match, and then Andrew Luck will do his thing. I think it's just a battle between Andrew Luck and Marcus Mariota, and I think we know who's going to win that one every single time. So the Colts make the playoffs as a 6th seed. Initially, I had the Ravens making it, which is a pretty close prediction if you think about it. But yeah, I think the Colts went out. It's just what the Ravens' schedule ended up being. Not that they're not a good team. I just don't think that they'll make the playoffs. And as far as what the Colts can do in the playoffs, I could see them winning against the Patriots in Foxborough. I could see that happening. If that, I could see them winning one playoff game, and I don't see them being like a dark horse candidate. If anything, I could see the Ravens going on a Tebow ride more than the Colts. Anyway, let me know your guys' opinions. Who's going to make the wild cards in the comment section down below. While you're down there, please like, favorite, and subscribe if you haven't already. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you listening. I'll see you guys in the next edition of BNA Sports Podcast next Monday, where I react to the Sunday football games. See ya.